They did land former West Virginia wide receiver Cam Vaughn. They did land others, but former West Virginia wide receiver Cam Vaughn did commit to Miami out of the transfer portal. He had 541 yards, 4 touchdowns last year. He was a preseason All Big 12 third team pick, and he led the Mountaineers in receiving yards, receptions, and receiving touchdowns. So he upgrades his situation, and then they get South Carolina transfer, who was the second leading receiver for the Gamecocks. They got Vandravius Jones to join the fold, 32 receptions, 548 yards, and 4 scores. Who wouldn't want to get out of the South Carolina offense? Let's be real here. But they did take it another step forward, and they're continuing to now get in the mix for some major names. And another one that they landed is one that I'm really high on in the portal, Boston College DB Omar Thornton. He had 111 tackles, 11 and a half tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 pick, a pass breakup, and 5 forced fumbles over 2 seasons for BC, and had 4 forced fumbles alone in 2025. He is a American Heritage product, so down in the South Florida area, and a really talented prospect out of the high school ranks, who I believe will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. So a really nice piece for the back end to pair with Bryce Fitzgerald, who we talked about earlier on the pod, a really talented true freshman for Miami. Miami is going to start loading up, making their moves in the transfer portal, and getting things on the right track there to rebuild this program's just talent level that they're going to have to do after this season ends. So they had this little weekend visit. They had some guys on campus, and they got a few commitments out of it as well. So Miami starting to heat up in the transfer portal. We'll see who their quarterback is. That'll be the biggest thing to watch. Speaking of quarterbacks, Virginia quarterback Chandler Morris denied his 7th year of eligibility by the NCAA. He joins Trinidad Chambliss in getting bad news this weekend from the NCAA, but they did decide to deny it. Tony Elliott, Cavaliers head coach, said that they were trying for it, and now it's been denied. Morris does plan to exhaust all of his options to appeal this, to fight this, to do all of those things. But you'd expect at this point that Chandler Morris's career at the college level is over at this point. And truthfully, his playing days are over. I'd be shocked if he was drafted, maybe somehow gets a training camp invite, but it does not seem likely. He had a huge season for UVA this year. They were able to go to the ACC championship game and, get a spot there, but they couldn't get it done. Duke wins it. An incredible final season for him of college football. I know there was some kind of buzz around hoping that Chandler Morris would end up at Clemson with his dad, Chad Morris. Not to be.